No, guys. The title of this video is not clickbait. You're going to see coins in an ecosystem that I think is going to 20 and 30x this bull run. It's wildly undervalued. It's extremely ill to get into. But I have to be honest, despite my burly, perfect appearance, I'm very distraught. You see, there were people last video who thought I was joking about the gains we would see. You know, the gains with AVAX up 60%, Shrapnel a 2x in just 7 days, Beam, Super, all the gains! And you see, something terrible has happened to them. Worse than anything you could even imagine. Worse than pooping your pants in the midst of your first day of high school, being known as Poopy Pants Kid for the next 4 years. You see, these poor lost souls. And now, they're left sidelined like a Cardano holder on Friday night, wondering where their wife is. And that is why I, the most woke, empty house, crypto fat advice guy with a great body who's also PG, family friendly, tri-state orange eating champion, I know you know who the I am. I have come to you in this video to deliver an ecosystem, a treasure trove, a Chipotle in a sea of Taco Bell, that in my opinion is not just primed to give the best gains in gaming crypto, but some of the best gains in crypto overall. And I'm about to take you from being a scrawny weirdo who's watching me on the toilet right now, to being a burly, well-informed man who is so rich you don't even flush your own toilet. You won't even touch that sty. In fact, you'll just get a new one after each use because you're that damn rich. And all the guys at Home Depot will be like, Roy, where the are all the toilets going? And they'll be like, bro, Bob, this crypto guy, he is so rich he is buying up all the toilets. There is literally no place left to poop. And then all the girls will be at your house because you have a toilet monopoly, like the Park Avenue of number 2. Like, the Monopoly guy. But after an aggressive Chipotle outing, yes, that is, what the are we doing on this channel? That's what we're gonna do here today. So let me, let's talk about these coins. And more importantly, this ecosystem, I think is actually going to 20, 30x if we get a bull run here. Let's go. But on a serious note, I'm gonna put a shirt on, take the glasses off, because this lesson is really important in crypto. If you do not understand this, you are not going to make a lot of money if we have a bull run here. You're not gonna make money on these coins I'm about to mention, and you're really not gonna know what to do. But if you do get this, if you apply what I'm about to show you in this ecosystem, it is not unlogical, not unreasonable to think we could do what we did last bull run, which is, again, we saw many coins in this sector or sectors like this, 10, 20, 30, 50x. And what I want to show you in this video is, yes, we're going to talk about coins. Everybody comes to this channel like, what coins is he going to talk about? It's not the point of this channel, though. The point is taking the strategies we use to find these coins and applying them to yourself, and then you have a whole treasure trove to yourself. You're just a little goblin in a cave with your own coins, instead of coming in my cave and putting your grubby little fingers all over these coins. You nasty little You need to go and create your own goblin cave. That's what I want to show you how to do right here, because this worked for me phenomenally well last bull run, and it is working again right now. And the crazy news, like I posted on Twitter the other day, you should follow me there, because that's where I post everything. I don't always have time to make these videos. Also follow me on Instagram, because I'll show you pictures of my dog, which I know that's why you're here. But like I said there, if we are in the early stages of a new bull, which it appears like, it seems like, it is still wildly early to get into this, specifically the sectors and ecosystems I'm about to talk about. So look, if you're new to crypto, or you're getting into the space, or heck, you've even been here for a while, you might be doing this because you're still a silly sausage. You come over to CoinMarketCap, you come over to this buying market, and you look at just this plethora of shit, just tons and tons of shit, mountains of shit. And you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I know which coins to pick? How do I know which projects to pick? There's a billion different things on here. They all do a zillion different things. Actually, 90% of them don't do anything. They're just really creative Ponzi schemes. But that's fine. You know, we're totally investing in the future of finance. So you look at all these things, they're all doing a billion different things. How do you know which things are going to pump? How do you know which things are going to go up? And so what a lot of people do is they come in these things and then they read the descriptions. And they're like, oh, okay, so look, I'm going to find the best projects. I'm going to find the best teams and the best technology that everybody's doubting. It's undervalued and stuff like that. They think that's how they're going to find the pumps. And that's not how it happens. Then they do this. I did this last bull run, and then all sorts of things start pumping randomly, and you don't know why, and you're missing out on everything. This ever happened to you? Good. Happens to everybody in crypto. And so you have to take a step back here, and you need to understand that in crypto, what is going on my young Padawan, you're likely not going to get much of an edge by reading white papers and researching the technology and finding some technology that other people don't know about yet. There are times that works. Yes, of course. However, you have to understand one of the most powerful ways to trade in crypto, and what we're actually doing here is trading narratives. Look, we do not know when we're going to see mass adoption in crypto, okay? It's been around for a decade. Still, no one's actually using Ethereum besides trading crap coins and pictures of monkeys. It is. So what we're trading here isn't technology or some business that's generating revenue. What we are trading here is stories and narratives. What does that mean? It means we are trading what people think about a coin, the stories about why a coin is going to be successful, and the momentum the coins create and the narratives around them. Whenever we see strong pumps, for example, in the 2020 bull run, we saw Cardano go on a wild run. And then I told everyone to sell right here. And then everybody that hung out there lost all their money. And look, I'm not here to rub it in Cardano holders' faces. I'm not here to remind them that their bags were 10x what they used to be. I'm not here to make snide remarks about their sex lives and how they live under the stairs like Harry Potter while another dude lives in their house and hogs all the ham in the refrigerator. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to remind them that they're forced to have to go and pee and piddle outside like the neighborhood dog, and that there's a separate table in their house where the family eats dinner and then they eat at this small little Lego table like kids at Thanksgiving because they spent the kids' college fund on the future of finance in Africa. I'm not here to do that. I'm too mature for that. However, in the bull run, we saw Cardano go on this crazy run right here. Why? There was a narrative that it is going to beat Ethereum and it's going to replace Ethereum and the technology behind it. Yeah. No one uses Cardano, but in Cardano's defense, jokes aside, no one uses any of the other layer ones for anything either. So it's not like Cardano got some wild amount of users or wild use case. It's because of the story that Cardano told. And when Cardano gained lots of momentum, all the coins that were related to Cardano got much larger gains. So for example, when Cardano was really going nuts right here, we went from $1 to $3 right here. Okay? So that's like a good 3x gain. And if you're a virgin who thinks going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit in your mother's minivan, if that gets you excited, that's really cool for you. We're here to actually make money though. And so that's why when we go and look at this gain right here, we look at this, we go and look at something like Card Starter. And we look at that in the same time frame. This was a launch pad that launched on Cardano. This little doodad right here went from $9 all the way up to $72. In fact, when it launched, the coin itself was like $1 or something, $2 right here. So we saw 20, 30x gains right here. Again, please pay attention to that disclaimer I posted earlier. I'm not going to spend this whole entire video throwing wet water when I talk about large gains and then explain the risk to you. I've already done that. Again, final warning, crypto is a pencil sharpener where 90% of people lose their dicks. So please don't leave this video thinking, oh, the guy who screams cuckold and poop jokes and wears sunglasses while lifting weights on the internet told me I'm going to be rich. No, I'm teaching you something here that might help you with trading. So what we want to do in crypto is two things. We want to not look at technology, and we also don't want to look at all of crypto as a whole. It's impossible. For example, it is not feasible for you to understand what's going on in 8 different ecosystems. For example, we got AVAX, Polygon, DOT right here. We got Monero, we have Internet Computer. We have all these things going on, and they're all wildly different projects and wildly different sectors of the market that are doing wildly different things. That's like investing in real estate, then investing in AI, then investing in food change, and then investing in oil and fuel. There's no way you're going to keep up with all of it, and there's no way you're going to understand any of it to catch it. And so what we instead want to do is we want to find narratives in the market around certain clumps of coins, and then watch those clumps like a hawk. And then understand that in crypto, there are lead coins that have ecosystems underneath them. There are lead coins that create large narratives, which are like a tidal wave. And so if this is a tidal wave, this channel is so f***ing bad. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Imagine all these other projects that are in the wave itself. And when the wave comes, all these projects, let's say the wave gets a 2, 3x in it, All these projects get a 10, and as you go lower down the totem pole of dumpster diving coins, we get up to 20, 30x. And so what we want to do is we find these waves, and then we squat in them the entire bull run until the wave is fully done. And if you're smart about this, you're not picking waves that wear out in the bull run. So again, going back to the Cardano narrative, there was a time where if you invested in anything Cardano, you caught this narrative early, you rode this massive wave. And if you invested in any of the sub things underneath Cardano that were related to it, the launch pads, the infrastructure, the things that are running on Cardano, you made an absolute killing. And for a time period right there, anybody that invested in this stuff made a ton of money. That was a long time ago, though. That's not the situation today. But you know, you're in the future of finance, so that's cool. It must be great. I'm just playing. I'm not going to pick on Cardano anymore this video. So what we want to do is we want to find stories. And I'm going to get into this ecosystem. I'm going to get into the things that I'm looking at right here in a second. But you got to understand this because then you can do it on your own. As you probably know, I literally this bull run almost 95% invest in gaming crypto. Why? I've explained this on other videos. There's another video on my channel that talks about game investing. Long story short, the market cap of all gaming crypto, which I think is going to reach huge levels, is about $12 billion right now. If we look at the market cap of Doge, this is a single meme coin that doesn't do anything at the moment. Elon Musk might get into it or whatever. The market cap peak of that was around $70 billion. Okay, so riddle me this, Albert Einstein. If we go and look at the market cap for all of gaming, we take all the coins in gaming, we lump them up all together. It is not even 1/7 of the peak of a meme coin. So that means even if all these coins come together and we just beat Dogecoin in market cap, we're going to see a 7, 8x from here. I think that's highly likely to happen if we see another bull run. And I think gaming has one of the strongest narratives right now, especially if we run. And when that happens, everything in gaming, regardless of the quality of it, and yes, there are quality coins in gaming, there are quality projects, but again, we are trading narratives here. It doesn't matter if it's the best technology on planet Earth. There's coins that have giant market caps that do absolutely nothing, and there's coins that have amazing technology, wonderful teams, and are in the dumpster right now. We're not trading businesses that are actually getting customers and making money. We are trading the marketing narrative and views and emotions of the market. I believe when this happens, any coin as this starts to climb that is in gaming, people are going to emotionally FOMO into, and this narrative is going to drive all these coins that are down here to stupid levels they should not be at. Wave, coins, narrative, up. This is how we make money. We find the overall narrative in the clumps. Before you get your pajamas in a bundle, let's get to the lesson of the day. What I'm looking at primarily right now is the mini wave within the mini wave. So what we can do as we draw more terrible artwork for you, is let's imagine there's big waves going on in a space. We got this big wave, which is gaming. All right, I can't even spell the word gamaps. All right, so we got gaming going on here. You're the one coming to this channel for crypto advice, not me. Okay, I'm just here in my garage yelling at you. So we got the whole entire gaming wave right here, but then we want to find the sub waves that are going on underneath them, because let's say this big wave right here gives a 7x. If we go into the sub waves, we're going to see the 10, 20 bigger X's. Specifically, a lot of these waves, if we get into the ecosystems, are kind of undiscovered. And this applies to so much more than I'm going to talk about today. There are other ecosystems, other layer ones that you're going to see this in. And so you should apply this there. But in my opinion, there's a few things going on that makes this insanely early. So one, in gaming, I think if we see a bull run, we're at least going to see this go to a $100 billion market cap. That's not even larger than some of the meme coin market caps we're going to see. That is not even the market cap of Ethereum while we're still kind of just barely off of lows. It's half of it. Of one coin. That said, if we go and look at a lot of the projects that are up right now, you know, we go and look at all these, what they all mostly share in common is they're all on Ethereum. Yeah, we have some stuff that's on the Binance chain and whatnot, but overall this thesis holds true. And the reason for this is because Ethereum is where everybody keeps all their money at. All right, so if anybody has a wallet, they keep all their money in USDC and the Ethereum network. So this means when they're going to trade coins, because everybody's mostly lazy, and then a lot of people in the US don't have access to moving between chains easily because they're not KYC verified and they don't understand these things. By the way, if you're in crypto, you should be KYC verified. You should know how to do on-chain trading. You should know how to move between chains and layers. Most people don't. And so what that means is that if we look at other layers, for example, like AVAX, a lot of people just haven't moved their money over to these chains because it's a pain in the butt and they don't know how, or they're blocked off from it. There's a whole range of reasons. That means the coins underneath these chains are kind of underinvested in compared to the coins that are on ETH. Thus, we can get in a bit early on these things, and doubly cool, if a narrative picks up on these things, they're going to go absolutely nuts. So for example, in the 2020 bull run, the Binance chain, or the Binance Smart Chain, was kind of a newcomer. And you saw Ethereum going nuts the entire bull run. So what happened right here after Ethereum started going nuts, this is about January 2021. If we go and look at the move that Ethereum pulled, you can see it started moving about December 2020. It really started to move. Now, if it started to move, everybody right here had already seen their big fat gains. And everybody getting in that was smart about things, and the people that had all their profits right here, said, where can we make gains next? Because all the coins on Ethereum, including Ethereum, are all pumped up. We're going to be getting into something that's already up 2x. So what did all these little degenerate goblins do? They went to Binance. And literally a month, 20, 30 days after Ethereum made its move, Binance just started moving, and it never stopped moving. And then everything underneath it started moving as well. Here's Pancake Swap. This is the swapper that everybody used on Binance Chain. Now, why did people start moving all over here? Because all the meme coins and all these stupid coins that didn't do anything started going nuts because of the Binance narrative. Whenever big giant coins pump or the market's going and we see the big coins and their ecosystems pump, people stop investing in them because the gains are gone and they look for what's next. So we're doing that in gaming with the Ethereum thesis I just put out. Are you tracking what I'm saying so far? If so, I have to congratulate you. You've made it well past. Everybody comes here for the poop jokes. They never stay for the content. But you're above the poop jokes. You're a grown man. You're mature. You're not into that smut. Also, just taking a second, follow me on Twitter at CSSBecker because this stuff is explained and updated way faster there. Also, follow me on Instagram because I really like it when I get likes on pictures of food. It just gives me a sense of ego that you can't really get anywhere else. Moving back, we're going to take this BNB lesson and we're going to move it on over to what I think is going to be one of the strongest narratives this bull run. Now, before we get into this, I must again stress, you want to do this on your own. There are so many other layer ones, so many other groups of coins, so many other clumps you can apply this thesis to. If you come in this video and you just follow my theses and you just follow me around, you are getting sloppy seconds. You just are. In fact, I've been talking about this narrative on Twitter for a while now. So unless you're into that kind of stuff, hey Cardano holders, what's going on? I see you. Hey, welcome to the channel. That's not necessarily how you want to move forward. You don't want to just spend your time copying me. So the AVAX narrative. So why do I think it's going to be so powerful? Well, here's the short and narrow of it. AVAX is great technology. It's really fast. It's really cool. That's wonderful. Yay! All right. I do like AVAX tech a lot. I could make a video on that. No one wants to watch that. So let me tell you the thing you actually care about. Why I think it's going to make a lot of money. So right now, BNB really isn't that exciting anymore. It's the $36 billion market cap. You're not going to get 100x on that anymore. You know, if you cut it at $1 billion market cap, yeah, you get 100x on that thing last bull run. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that this bull run. So what I think is happening right here is people are going into Solana. You've noticed it's gone and done just a crazy, stupid run. All right. It is definitely the BNB of this bull run, I think. Now, if you watched last bull run, underneath BNB, Luna and Solana really chased BNB around because people like the little brother coins. Now, Luna turned out to be a complete disaster, but that doesn't really matter. It's a bull run. We're just here to print money and then run away into the bushes giggling. Now, what I believe is going to happen is Solana is going to do very, very, very well this bull run and might flip BNB, or at least will come up right underneath it or right underneath Ethereum. And that means it has a lot of market cap to go. You know, we could see a 10x in Solana. Now, what is going to happen, I think AVAX is basically Solana's little brother right now in people's eyes and is going to chase up and squat right underneath it and kind of replace where it is right there. So it's going to go, let's say we see Ethereum go to a $600 million market cap. That means we're going to see Solana go to like a $300 to $400 million market cap. And then we'll see AVAX go to like a $200 million market cap. So the gains are better on AVAX. But more importantly, The reason why I'm really in the AVAX as well is because I think it's probably going to be one of, if not the best gaming chains, and if definitely one of the best narratives and hype in gaming. So, I mean, last video I talked about it. You can see that's already sitting in. So we talked about it like kind of here last week. The thing's already up a lot. I think at least 100% right here. That said, am I saying I would buy it right now? I have a big old bag that I got back here when I kind of created this thesis. So I'm just sitting in it good. And I'm not selling it because I think it's just a good old big coin bet. It's just a big giant coin that you have in your bag. It's kind of like the staple of a bag. Now, are we going to see 100x gains? No, probably not. I don't think we're going to see this get to a $700 million market cap. I think it's going to deliver good gains. Where I think the big gains are going to come from are the coins underneath it. Specifically, the coins in the hottest narrative I think is going to happen. So we combine the AVAX narrative and we put the gaming narrative together to create a crazy, hypey incest baby that I think can do nuclear things. This brings us down to crypto gaming on AVAX. Fireworks, all right? So the thing I want to talk about is first this. So if we look at Beam, one of my favorite coins on this, which I think is just going to be a powerhouse this born, you probably see this and you think, wow, all right, so I really missed the boat here. Maybe if the bull run stops here, yeah, you did miss the boat. If we reverse, yeah, you did miss the boat. But the thing I want to point out right here is that when Bitcoin started moving and doing its initial moves, let's go to right here. So when it started going up, this is December 2020. Okay, this is kind of the phase we're in right now. If we go and look at BNB in December 2020, okay, it really wasn't moving yet. It really wasn't moving until the end of the month, right? So, but you see, like, you're like, oh man, it was just dead. We go and zoom in. Let's go to 2020, and we zoom in on this little chunk right here. We zoom in before this huge rise, and you can see, oh, wow, this thing really went up. You see what I'm getting at right here? If we looked at this chart right here, minus the bull run, it looks like the bust was super missed right here. I mean, it went from $2 to $28. Holy moly. But then what happened after $28? Yeah. So it's important to understand that context of crypto. And if we go and look at gaming crypto, you have to understand again that the amount of money that's in here right now is less than the market cap of a meme coin. No, seriously, if we go and look at this, we look at Doge, it's a $12 billion coin. That's all of gaming together. So yes, while it looks like the charts are up, and yes, you're going to eat a phenomenal turd taco if this reverses, I cannot stress enough, you will lose a lot of money. This is a gamble. This is not responsible investing. If we get a bull and we see even 1/100th of all the money going in the crypto spill in the crypto gaming, we're going to see huge gains here. So taking that down, where are we going to see the gains at? AVAX is going to get that hypey bid right underneath Solana, and people are going to go, oh, okay, which on their AVAX? That's what everybody does. And they're going to go, oh, gaming is really hot, and it's on their AVAX. Ah! And then we have the incest baby situation I talked about before. So where do we start here? What do we want to be looking at? Last video, please go watch it. Watch the last two videos, especially the one that came 6 months ago where I told you to get in all these gaming coins when like they were totally at their lows. And you'd be sitting on a 16 golden toilets right now. The Home Depot people would be out of business if more people paid attention to that video. But regardless, you want to look at the chunks of the niche that are going to do very, very well. Very, very well. So what are these things going to be? It's going to be infrastructure. It's going to be gaming studios. It's going to be specific games and then launch pads and communities. So let's break these down. And there's a lot more gems on AVAX. And the thing I really like about it at the moment is a lot of everything hasn't released yet. Thus, you have a little bit of time here. This is still like a really new narrative that really hasn't found its way out of crypto Twitter yet. So I'm here to basically ruin it for everybody. So let's look at it from the top. Also, before I get into this, full transparency, I am invested or an advisor to a lot of these products. I'm about to mention like Shrapnel or Merit / Beam. I'm advisors to a lot of these products or invested in them. I am all in the space. The first thing I did when I got into the AVAX narrative, I started messaging to teams. I started investing in a lot of them. So if you don't want to invest in things that I'm invested in or already invested in, don't buy any of these. It's that simple. It's that simple. I'm not even suggesting you buy anything right now. I'm showing you examples of how I'm looking at this so you can go and apply it on your own term. By far, I think one of my favorite coins on this narrative is going to be Beam or Merit Coin. I go by Beam now. My buddy and co-founder at Neo Tokyo, Elliot, actually turned me onto this coin, and I'm a really big Beam bull. I think it's probably one of the strongest infrastructure plays, and there's a few reasons why I really like it. One, it's basically the largest DAO, and it's specifically specialized in gaming, which gives it so many powerful sluggers. For example, in crypto, the valuations of layers, the blockchains underneath chains, those get much higher valuations than, say, particular games. You throw a DAO in there, you're going to have a really juicy situation if the thing is built right. Now, Beam is built right, but this is where my side of crypto comes in. If you know anything about me, I run software companies. I build and sell software companies. And the reason why I'm good at that primarily is one, because I understand software, but mostly because I understand how to get things sold. Not only can I build things, I understand marketing behind it, because I spent most of my career in marketing. The marketing behind Merit Circle and Beam, I think, is superb, and they've created kind of the trifecta of everything you want to look for when it comes to investing in this narrative. So, in my opinion, Beam is kind of like the center coin of this narrative. It's going to be the leader on AVAX gaming. And if you want to skip AVAX and get the next coin down that's probably going to deliver bigger gains, it's probably going to be Beam. The thing has not even broached the $1 billion market cap right now. And I know you're like, oh, $1 billion market cap, that's giant. When the bull run gets going, that's not really going to be that giant. So I think this could be doing super duper well. So the other cool thing there is there's a lot of AVAX infrastructure narratives that have yet to actually take off. Okay, so if you look on Ethereum, there's tons of infrastructure. The big one on AVAX right now is going to be Beam. Okay, and I think that's going to kind of be the North Star. But as more things emerge and the bull run gets going, there's going to be a lot of new things popping up. So what I would suggest doing is just staying on top of it, all right? Because you're going to see new infrastructure pop up. And as soon as you see that, be like, oh, okay, that's what you really want to be looking at. Those are like the lowest risk. And I say lowest risk tongue in cheek because it's all massive risk. But by far, the things that are going to get the largest market caps are infrastructure, because infrastructure can be everything. Everything can be wrapped into it. It can be one big farmer's market pie. Whereas a game is just like one thing that can be put on the pie. Invest in the pie is what I'm saying. And a good place to stay up to date would just be gaming on AVAX. You could go look at their Twitter. You're probably going to get the gist on it and see a lot of new things coming as they pop out. And actually, if you're really looking to be on the cutting edge of gaming, you should really just join Neo Tokyo. This is the NFT community that myself and Elliot Trades run. It is by far, without bias, the most cutting edge place you can be in crypto gaming. I'm not saying that with some sales pitch. It is. For example, Beam just joined Neo Tokyo. And if you actually go to my wall, you can just see literally dozens and dozens and dozens of gaming projects. Nakamoto, Sidus, the founder of Animoca, the biggest game investors there are, is a member. FaZe Banks is a member. We have influencers joining it. Just last week, Altura, Vulcan Forge, WagMe, TreeFirst, Seedify. If you're not inside of Neo Tokyo, you're not on the edge. I'm sorry. And so if you're inside that community, one, you're not buying an NFT from me. You're buying an NFT from a community member. So I'm not pitching you some NFT to buy from me right now. I don't have some giant bag of NFTs I need to sell you. But if you're into what I'm saying right now, you should be there. It is a crypto gaming community exclusively focused on crypto gaming for all the founders, the biggest investors, and builders in the crypto gaming space. If you're a developer or a person kind of just getting in the crypto gaming, I would suggest getting an S2. If you're serious about this, I would get an S1. I'm not going to pitch you that you're going to get richer. I'm going to pitch you that you're going to join the best community networking group in space and all of crypto gaming. So you should be there. You are really, really, really missing out if you're not inside the Discord with all these teams, investors, and people discussing all this. This is where I really got the AVAX narrative and everything going on there from. So while we're talking about narratives, one of my favorite studios right now that I'm looking at, I'm actually talking with right now, I'm going to try and get them actually inside Neo Tokyo, is Gunzilla Games. They're building really high quality games. They're working with a lot of major studios. They're doing big things, and they're going to release a game called Play Off the Grid, which is probably one of the most anticipated games that's going to be using AVAX. So like I said, a lot of things I'm going to talk about here have not released yet. So you're like not just early, this train station's not even open up. Now, while also on that front, I didn't I'm not quite including this with studios because they don't really promote themselves as a studio as much as, like, for example, Gunzilla. But the RNG Foundation, this is a studio slash team to watch as well, primarily because they're building Play Shrapnel, which is, again, kind of its own studio, but it's more kind of marketed as a game. I think this game and I think this token, specifically during this bull run, is going to have serious legs, kind of similar to Illuvium in 2020. Not only does the gameplay and the studio and everyone behind it look really good, again, go check out the website and the team behind it, but there's also a lot of attention and marketing and focus on it throughout all of crypto. Combine that with the AVAX narrative, combine it with the gaming narrative, and they combine it with the fact that it actually looks like an actual decent game that has a shot here. I think this thing is going to run really, really hard. And yes, it has a pretty high diluted market cap, but I don't think that diluted market cap is going to be coming into play before it really sees these huge runs. Also, another cool thing, Play Shrapnel is a member of Neo Tokyo. Now, another studio on my radar right now, who is also a Neo Tokyo member, and it's not like I'm just talking about projects that are involved in Neo Tokyo. It's just almost every project these days is. So I'm going to mention if they're a member because I think it's cool. But another studio I'm looking at right now is Playable Games. It's an AVAX studio. It's a lot smaller of a cap, so it's a little bit more higher risk play. Again, studios run really, really, really hard in bull runs. So I like studios, and this is a studio on AVAX. If you're looking for a little bit more high risk tolerance, there you go. Now, again, the pickings are a little bit slim here compared to like Ethereum, which has hundreds of games, dozens of infrastructure plays, and that's a good thing. But the next place you want to go from here is games, particularly games with really strong narratives. Now, there's a lot of games on AVAX right now. There's not a lot of games with particularly strong narratives or attention right now. So a few games off the top of my head that I'm looking at would be one, just Dami Online. This is kind of a MMORPG narrative game right here. You can see the gameplay and everything below. But again, like Shrapnel, this is controlling a lot of attention right now. And by attention, I mean attention in the AVAX gaming space, which is actually tiny. It's like if you walked into a game spot or stopped, which no longer exists, by the way. It's like this tiny corner in the back of the store that like two people are even aware of. So again, by large in this space, it's not particularly very large. But Dami Online is controlling a lot of the focus and narrative right now, so I would focus on that as well. That's a really good game example. Also, if you're looking for a game that's already active, already trading, there's of course Mega Weapon, which I also believe is a Neo Tokyo member as well. And they're working really, really closely with Beam, so that narrative is going to tag team right there. So that's as far as I would go as games go. There are a lot of games, and in fact, if you go to my Twitter, there's a thread I created right here where I just asked about games on AVAX, where I actually just got a lot of tons of intel, and there's just hundreds of people throwing out games that are on AVAX and whatnot. A lot of it, 90% of it is goofball, silly sausagery, but maybe you're going to find some gems in there before other people to discover them. That's a big old bargain bin at the bottom, at the back of Toys R Us for you to dig through. Finally, where you're really going to be able to get an edge here is games that have not released. Okay? So a lot of these games, I don't know if you're going to be able to get into like the pre-sales for these games, but a lot of these games haven't released yet, so you're at least be able to catch them. If we don't get a bull run and then they release before the bull run, that's going to be a really clever time to buy a lot of these. If it's mid-bull run, I think a lot of them are going to take off to crazy highs right out the gates when they launch, but if you can get in before that, it's juicy. So for example, if you look at like Illuvium, now when Illuvium first launched, again, it reached a pretty high market cap pretty quickly, but nowhere compared to where it ran to. And it really did nothing for months. This is before the crypto gaming narrative took place. And I think we still have a few months before like the real gaming narrative takes place. Okay. And so this thing then took off. So if you can catch something when the narrative's kind of cold, which is definitely not cold right now, but it's not bull market warm, pretty clever. Now, if you catch something like a lot of games, I'm not going to pick on particular games right now, but there's tons of games that released during the gaming bull run that hit these massive market caps and then they just decline the entire way down, then that's bad. So it depends on where we're coming in at. Now, I've already mentioned some studios that have games coming out, but there's a few that I'm looking at. For example, like Fableborn. I really like Fableborn. It looks really cool. I love the art style. I love the direction of it. It looks neato-rific. So I'm actually reaching out to talk with them right now because I'm really interested in that project. And then the other one I'm really looking at right now that looks pretty nice is this survival game called Providence. And so it's looking really good. It's looking like it's going to drive a pretty strong narrative. And I think that's going to generate a lot of excitement. So I'm not guaranteeing these ones are coming to the Neo Tokyo Launchpad, but if you're looking to get into like pre-sales and invest in these things early, look for the launchpad opportunities. For example, at Neo Tokyo, we have a launchpad, or a lot of these games offer their initial coins at their pre-sale seed investment pricing. If you're a Neo Tokyo member, you can come in and invest on that. It's a huge benefit of being part of Neo Tokyo. And of course, what I try to do is when I see games that I think are really, really cool, for example, I try to bring them onto the launchpad so people inside of Neo Tokyo can, again, go invest in it. So, again, another good reason why you should be in Neo Tokyo. So, that all being said, guys, I think the video's gone a lot longer than I wanted it to run. I need to learn to be a little bit more concise with these things. And I don't have anything more to add. I'm all in on the AVAX narrative. I think it's going to do really, really well this run. I think AVAX is just going to do stupidly well this run. Again, we might not get a bull run. We might reverse from here. I don't want to inspire everyone with guaranteed hope. However, I think AVAX, just point blank, if you're looking for a dirty, easy big coin invest in, I think that's the place to go. And I think AVAX Gaming is going to be just a stupidly strong narrative. If you like videos like this and you enjoy this content, follow me on Twitter at ZSSBecker because that's where I post way more frequently. I can only make one of these videos a week tops. I'm busy with my job running software companies. Follow me on Instagram at 4ambecker and subscribe to this channel because if you subscribe to YouTube channel, it shows you the videos and your subscriptions. And